Hey guys, it's the 1st of January 2024, and I don't mean to bring down the tone and get you all kind of down in the dumps, but somebody died on my road today. And this person, I don't know who, I don't know what exactly the circumstances were, but I was looking out my bedroom window this morning, and there was an ambulance parked across the street, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's happening. And then I saw somebody coming out in their pajamas, frantically talking to the paramedics. And I was like, oh, that doesn't look good. And then another ambulance arrived. And that, obviously, it's much more serious when a second ambulance arrives. And sure enough, later we saw the Gardaí arrive. And then after that, we saw like a forensics team arriving. And there was a van for removing a body, and we actually saw the body being removed. So it's kind of impacted me, impacted the whole family here, given that the 1st of January, everyone's normally celebrating, all of that kind of stuff. And suddenly somebody, not far from here is having an awful time and is obviously dealing with some pretty serious grief. And so my heart goes out to that family. But what happened later then in the day, I went out for a big long walk, and I came back in and we were sitting watching TV, and I got a phone call, and it turned out it was my mother, and she was in a bad way, some health condition. And so I rushed over to her house. We ended up having to get the ambulance to take her into hospital. And so I spent the rest of the afternoon in the hospital. And it looks like she's making a full recovery, so hopefully everything is going to be fine. But it just got me thinking about events. And this is a theme that I did a video previously. I'll put a link in the description below. But I talk about the 4 E's when you're talking about investment and making plans and all that kind of stuff. And the 4th E is events. And events are things that come out of the blue and have they're very, very unpredictable. They're random events that can happen and that can derail. They can derail your plans for the day, your plans for the year. They can derail your life. They can derail an investment very, very quickly. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about it is that I know some of my clients in the coaching business, they're on a very aggressive sort of investment path. They want to accumulate a lot of money very quickly. What they do is they push right to the edge, and they say, as soon as I get this one done, I'll make enough money, and then it'll be a couple of weeks of being really tight, but then it'll get better. And they have this kind of very clear plan in their mind, but that is assuming everything goes according to the exact plan and that everything works. And it's great having that kind of ambition. I've had that before myself. You can have tremendous conviction that your decisions are right, that the planning around everything is going to kind of fall into place exactly as you're predicting. But you should never discount the potential for some unexpected event taking place that could derail your entire sort of plan. And I'll give you an example. 2001, the 9/11 attacks in New York City. I had just flown into, I was in the Caribbean, and we were going to be there on a holiday, and sure enough, that whole thing got derailed, and we had their whole day spent frantically calling around, making sure that relatives that live in New York City were okay and stuff. And that event, terrible as it was for all of the family people there, if you had an investment in the airlines, for example, that investment was gone the next day. If you had planned on making any investments that year, suddenly those investments were now all canned. And it just shows you that completely unexpected events can take place and completely change the market, so that there is no market the following day. And so never assume that everything will go exactly according to clockwork. That's just the little bit of advice. Nothing is guaranteed. So always, it's fine to take calculated risks, but just keep your eyes open and be aware of the fact that shit happens. And if you have a really, really tight cash flow, or if you're expecting something to sell before you can buy something, or something to close before you can pay for something else, there's always a risk that that other deal will fall through, and that you'll be caught, you'll be stuck there holding the bag. And I've seen that before. So guys, I'm making more of these videos. They're going to be short, little kind of wisdom snippets, I suppose you could call it. And if you'd like to see the full video that I did on the 4 E's, I'm going to put a link up in the description there. And so I'll see you in the next video.